Negotiations on the India-US trade deal had made significant progress, and the trade deal could be finalized any day now. The first two T-72 tanks overhauled under a pilot project by Vehicle Factory Jabalpur were flagged off today, expanding battle tank overhaul capacity alongside heavy vehicles factory. The Indian Air Force today signed an agreement with Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, for the development of an indigenous advanced high-speed air-breathing propulsion system. Gliders India Limited has secured a 30 crore rupees export order from Vietnam for the supply of Su-30 brake parachutes and pilot parachutes. The United States has warned Canada that backing out of its plan to buy 88 F-35 fighter jets could have serious consequences and might force the US to reconsider the long-standing NORAD agreement, which forms the backbone of US-Canada joint air defense. India has issued a notification extending the danger zone for an upcoming missile test, with the range now stretching close to 2,530 kilometers for the period between 5th and 6th of February 2026. Ashok Leyland has unveiled its 4x4 light tactical vehicle for the Indian Army's Light Armored Multi-Purpose Vehicle program, under which around 800 vehicles are planned. National Aerospace Laboratories Bengaluru has signed a non-disclosure agreement with Russia's United Engine Corporation to collaborate on developing aircraft engines for aerospace programs. HAL chief has said that 5 fully built Tejas MK1A aircraft have cleared through key firing and missile integration trials, and the company is preparing to approach the Indian Air Force for acceptance of these fighters within the current financial year. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and Russia's United Aircraft Corporation have signed an agreement for licensed production of the Superjet 100 in India. HAL chief has said HAL plans to lease 10 to 20 Superjet 100 aircraft from Russia in flyaway condition, and will begin rolling out Superjet 100 aircraft from its existing facilities within the next 3 years. The DRDO has issued a request for proposal for a broadband radome with integrated polarizer for the Tejas MK2's electronic warfare suite. That indicates that the Tejas MK2 electronic warfare architecture is transitioning from prototype validation to full-scale engineering development and integration trials. The Tejas MK2 will conduct its first flight in the first quarter of 2027, and its flight with its full indigenous electronic warfare suite will be done by late 2027. At the Wings India Air Show in Hyderabad, the CEO of Russia's United Aircraft Corporation has said that India's discussions with Russia over the Su-57 fighter jet have moved into an advanced technical stage, with talks now focused on detailed parameters. The consultations are examining how the Su-57 could be adapted to Indian requirements, including the possibility of manufacturing the aircraft in India using existing Su-30 facilities, and integrating Indian-developed avionics, electronic warfare systems, and mission computers. He also said that this partnership-driven model rather than a buyer-seller deal will give the Indian industry an exposure to fifth-generation technologies, while reducing long-term dependence on foreign supply chains. The DRDO has confirmed that work has started on a ship-launched hypersonic glide missile based on the long-range anti-ship hypersonic missile that is designed to strike both static and moving targets with multiple payload options. The ship-launched missile will fit within the BrahMos Universal Vertical Launch System already deployed on Indian Navy destroyers and frigates, keeping its weight close to the 3-ton BrahMos class, and avoiding major ship modifications. This approach will allow existing warships to gain hypersonic strike capability through integration rather than costly refits, enabling faster induction and fleet-wide deployment. Today's top 3 comments.